Hello everyone. Yeah, Emmanuel here again. We are back on our daily routine, on our constitution. So we stopped at chapter 6, the legislature. So we are going to look at the legislature today, what it has inside, composition of the legislature, the Parliament of Uganda, functions of the Parliament, qualifications of members of Parliament. Enaku zino kati tugenda kulaba ku ebikwatagana ku Parliament, engeri biki Parliament byalina okukola, bamemba ba Parliament abalina okwesimba, biki byalina okubeera nabyo. So everything is in this part. So tusigaleko tubeere bakakamu, mulayikinge, musubscribinge, musharinge. Okay, the legislature, right? Establishment, composition, and functions of Parliament. The legislature is all about the Parliament, functions of the Parliament, no, composition of the Parliament. Aonganje lusenyo. Sagala firuta. Yeah. Hope everything is good there. Okay. So this is chapter 6. Okay, Article 77, Parliament of Uganda. Okay, there shall be a Parliament of Uganda. The composition and functions of Parliament shall be as prescribed by the Constitution. The term of Parliament shall be 5 years from the date of its sitting after a general election. Okay, nti Parliament egenda term oba ekisanja. Parliament enefuga. The term of Parliament shall be 5 years from the date of sitting. Parliament I know better like for 5 years. Kale member of Parliament I know fuga for 5 years. Then I never know member mupya. Where there exists of a state of war or a state of emergency which would prevent a normal general election from being held, Parliament may, by resolution support by not less than 2/3 of all members of Parliament, extend the life of Parliament for a period not exceeding 6 months at a time. Obaba like emergency you now oba lutalo oba kirwadde oba biki ng'obululu tebubaddeewo, Parliament ejja kweyongerayo for how long? For 6 months. Okay, Parliament esobola okweyongerayo for 6 months wabaawo ekiba kibaluseewo. Okay, so that's the Parliament, how it will be work. So composition of Parliament, biki ebiri mu Parliament. Parliament shall consist of members directly elected elected to represent constituencies. Bamemba ba Parliament be balonze okukiikirira constituencies zaabwe. Gwe member wo wa Parliament owo walonda bamuyitaani, sooka muteekeyo mu comment section. Ffe waffe yetuva waliyo member baali bamuyita Tinkasimye Barnabas, yali wa NRM, kati bamuyiye kati yamuyiye bamuyita Dennis mu primaries, naye yagambye agenda komawo as independent. So we shall see who is who. My member of Parliament is Tinkasimye Barnabas. Comment in the comment section, member wa Parliament wa constitution eyo bamuyitaani. Okay, one woman representative for every district. Woman MP buli district walina okuva representative omukazi. See, such numbers of representative of the army, youth, workers, persons with disabilities and other groups as Parliament may determine. Walina obeerayo abakulira amagye, abakulira abavubuka, abakulira abakozi, abakulira abalema. So nga Parliament bwalina osalawo abo abantu bajja kukola ki, nabo bajja beerangayo mu Parliament. Okay, the Vice President and Ministers who, if not already elected members of Parliament, shall be ex-officio members of Parliament without the right to vote on any issue required a vote in Parliament. Vice President ne ba Minister abatalondeddwa nga ba member of Parliament bagenda beera ba ex-members of Parliament, ate babaawo ekiteeso kye bateesa mu Parliament tebakkirizibwa kukola ki, tebakkirizibwa kulaizinga ne bateesa. Bw'obeera Vice President oba nga oli Minister nga toli elected member oba tolina kuteesa mu Parliament. Okay. Upon the expiration of a period of 10 years after the commencement of this constitution and thereafter, every 5 years, Parliament shall review the representation under Clause 1B and C of this article, for the purpose of retaining, increasing, or abolishing any such representation and any other matter including to it. Nti waitawo ebbanga ery'emyaka 10 constitution eno ejja kuddamu erabe ejja kuddamu erabe clause 1B of this article. Okitegeera, okubolishinga any representation of any matter. The representation referred to in clause 1A of this article shall be elected on the basis universal adult suffrage and by secret ballot. Bo bajja genda bakebere, then baorganizinga akalulu, bategeka akalulu oba ka ballot oba ka secret, so balabe ani abagenda okiikirira. Okay, 4. Parliament shall by law prescribe the procedure for election or of representatives referred to in clause 1B and C of this article. Parliament yo yegenda oteekawo amateeka nga balina okukola ki? No, bagenda londo oyo minister oba vice president. Okay. Then article 79. Functions of the parliament. Migazo ki gya parliament? Parliament erina etugasa ki? Parliament erina otukolera ki? 1. Subject to the provision of this constitution, Parliament shall have powers to make laws on any matter for the peace, order, development and good governance of Uganda. Parliament yerina okukola amateeka such that nti tubeera mu mirembe mu nsi yaffe, mubeeramu emirembe, okulaakulana, obubbi bugende. So Parliament yerina okukola amateeka galina okukola ki? Okuwezaawo ensi yaffe. Okay. Except as provided in this constitution, no person or body other than Parliament shall have power to make provisions having the force of law in Uganda except under authority conferred by an act of Parliament. Covered, I think they wanted to write covered, right? Except as provision of constitution, no person, tewali muntu yenna kabere president, then shall have aja kubeera n'amateeka go, aja kubeera na that right of making laws. No one should make laws except the Parliament. Over maybe if he's defended by kino kyebagambye an act of Parliament, bwabeera ali omwo mu act of Parliament mbe yagamba kino ne kino ne kino, so there you can follow the law, but no one, teri muntu yenna alina okukola amateeka unless it's Parliament of Uganda. Parliament shall protect this constitution and promote the democratic governance of Uganda. Parliament kigikakatako oku protecting eno constitution, okugikuuma tewabaawo bagimendinga, simanyi bagikozeemu biki, simanyi bagi, Parliament this is the supreme law of Uganda, so Parliament, the duty is protecting the constitution. Okay. Qualification and disqualification of a member of Parliament. Wano wakulu nnyo. Biki omubaka wa Parliament byalina obeera nabyo, oba biki ebimulemesa ofuuka mubaka wa Parliament? 1. A person is qualified to be a member of Parliament if that person is a citizen of Uganda. Obeera mutuuze wa Uganda, osobola obeera MP. Kino kigenda gwe eri Derek ayagala beera MP. You have to be a citizen of Uganda. Is a registered voter. Are you a registered voter or no? Okkirizibwa okuba akalulu. Then osobola obeera Parliament and has completed a minimum formal education of advanced level standard or its equivalent. Ate olina okuba ng'osomyeko ng'omaze A level, senior ey'omukaaga, advanced level, right? Senior ey'okuna O level. Weera member of Parliament, omaze senior ey'omukaaga n'okudda waggulu and its equivalent. A person is not qualified for the election of a member of parliament if that person is of unsound mind. Ekigamba unsound kitegeeza ki? Unsound mind oli oba obwongo bwo bukola bulungi. Naye kati ennaku zino tulaba bagenda kuwa pulezidenti baneeno. Kirabika waya abamu ezimu teziriiko naye abamu tujja sooka tubateeke mu byuma tubakebere if your mind is sound or unsound. Okay, is holding or acting in an office the functions of which involves responsibilities for or in a connection with the conduct of an election. Bw'obeera ng'obeera mu office oba office ye eri mu electoral commission oba eri mu byobululu ebyo, so you can't be qualified as a member of parliament. Is a traditional or cultural leader or defined in Article 246(6) of this constitution. Obeera mukulu w'abasamize kirizibwa beera MP. Is a traditional or cultural leader. Kirizibwa beera MP oba ogenda kuloga abalonzi bonna bakuwagire. So if you're a cultural leader, you can't be a member of parliament. Has been adjusted or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law in force in Uganda and has not been discharged. Obanga bakusangako nga tolinaamu kasente bulungi akasobola okubeezaawo, tosabeera MP. Is under a sentence of death or a sentence of imprisonment exceeding 9 months imposed by any contempt court without the option of a fine. Obeera nga bakusalira gwa kufa oba ng'oli ku life imprisonment oba ng'oli ku kibonerezo kyonna ekisukka mu myezi 9 kooti gye yasalawo myezi 9 kudda waggulu tosobola beera ki MP, tosobola tufugira mu kkomera. Okay, 3. A person elected to parliament when he or she is a member of a local government council or holds a public office shall resign the office before assuming the office of a member of parliament. Obeera ng'okolera ng'oredde okolera mu government n'ekitongole kya government kyonna ky'okoleramu, you can't be elected as member of parliament. No, you have to first resign, then you apply. Okay, that's the what is needed to become a member of parliament. So, election of a member of parliament. A general election of a member of parliament shall be held within 30 days before the expiration of the term of a person. Akalulu kajja kukubibwa within omwezi gumu 30 days nga ekisanja ky'omubaka abaddeko tekinaggwako nga kibulayo 30 days kigweko. Whenever a vacancy exists in parliament, the clerk to parliament shall notify the electoral commission in writing within 10 days after the vacancy has occupied, and a by-election shall be held within 30 days and the vacancy has occurred. Shall be held within 30 days after the vacancy has occurred. Okay. Ekifo ky'omubaka wa parliament bwe kibaawo nga kiri empty, clerk wa parliament ajja ku-informinga electoral commission ekitongole ekikulira ebyokulonda then kyorganizing akalulu within 30 days, then bakuba akalulu bakube by election bafixingewo member of parliament ataliiwo. Okay. Notwithstanding clause 2 of this article, by-election shall not be held within 6 months before the holding of a general election of parliament. By-election shall not be held within 6 months before. 6 months before. Bwe tuba nga twakamala emyezi 6 nga twakamala okulonda, by-election teyinza bbaawo before 6 months, then no by-election. Then you need to wait after 6 months, then whatever the position shall keep vacant until 6 months. Okay. Every person elected to member of parliament shall take and subscribe the oath of allegiance and the oath of member of parliament specified in the 4th schedule for this constitution. Mweno constitution mulimu how ababaka balina okukola oath. Babaka, president, vice president, minister, I, Byaranga Emmanuel Solomon Lesoya, that I will lead this country without fear or favor. So help me God. So what buli mubaka wa parliament, you have to take oath. You will read with kumazima. So help me God. So every member of parliament shall take oath. Allegiance oath, member of parliament. Okay. Except for the purpose of taking the oath referred to in clause 4 of this article, no person shall sit or vote in parliament before taking and subscribing the oath. Ngatona situ walubabula ku ujirambo I usima Derrick Solomon Lesoya. By will rule. I will rule, I will lead. Without fear or favor, so help me God. Never konamu. Gatona swearinga, you can't be a member of parliament. No. Okay. Speaker and Deputy of Parliament. Article 82. Under Chapter 6, the Legislature. Speaker and Deputy of Parliament. There shall be a Speaker and Deputy of Parliament. And nowadays, kakati Speaker wafe Anita Amongo, Deputy Thomas Tayebwa. They are both members of Parliament. They have places they represent constituencies. The Speaker and Deputy shall be elected by members of Parliament from their by member of Parliament from among their number. But Speaker of Parliament baja kulondebwa according to numbers of Parliament. A person shall not be qualified to be elected as Speaker or Deputy Speaker if or she is a Vice President or Minister. Obera Minister or Vice President gwe tolina kulondebwa nga Speaker. Rwanga tosobola funa bifo by'amaanyi weka. Uganda yaffe ffenna. A person shall not be qualified to be okay. Subject to Article 81(4) of this Constitution, no business shall be transacted in Parliament other than election to the office of Speaker at any time that office is vacant. Electing Speaker kye kintu kyokka ekisobola okukkirizibwa mu Parliament nga, like apart from that, balina obeera ku business, balina obeera omuwala bagiyita sida, balina obeera ku line, okitegeera mateeka kuteeka okay. The Chief Justice or a judge designated by the The Chief Justice or a judge designated by the Chief Justice shall preside at an election of a Speaker. The Speaker shall preside at an election of the Deputy Speaker. Then an election to the office of the Deputy Speaker shall be held at the first sitting of Parliament after that office becomes vacant. Then kulonda kwa Speaker, Chief Justice, I think Chief Justice waffe Owiny-Dollo, right? Yeah. Chief Justice waffe yagenda okubeera ng'omukulu ng'alondesa. Then bwe tuba tulonda Speaker, bwe tuba tulonda Deputy Speaker, then Speaker yagenda okubeera ki? Omukulu nga yalondesa. Yasalawo kale. Then Deputy Speaker ye tuba tusobola mulonda ffe nga ba MP. Okitegeera naye tulina omulonda as after the sitting of Parliament when that office is vacant. Okay. The Speaker or Deputy Speaker shall vacate his or her office if he or she is appointed to any public office. Obeera nga olina any public office, ekifo ekya Speaker tuba tugenda kikujjamu. If he or she become a minister, kati Museveni bw'avaayo n'awa Anita Amongo obwa minister, then obwa Speaker alina obuvaamu according to the Constitution. If he or she resigns his or her office by writing signed by him or her addressed to the clerk of parliament. Bwa resigninga n'awandiika resignation n'agiwa clerk wa parliament, then ekifo nga tukifunira omulala. If he or she ceases to be a member of parliament, kati nga bwe bali mu kalulu, akalulu ne kamukuba ne bamuggyako obwa member of parliament n'obwa speaker, aba takyali. Kati toli member of parliament obeera otya speaker, oba ojja kujja kukola ki? Okay. The speaker and deputy speaker shall receive such salaries, allowances and gratitudes as may be prescribed by the parliament. Speaker ne deputy speaker emisaala gyabwe ne allowances zaabwe ziba zeeyongeramu engeri parliament eba ekisazeewo, not the same as the rest of the members of parliament. The salaries, allowances and gratitudes of the speaker and deputy speaker shall be charged on the consolidated fund. Wano batugamba nti emisaala gy'aba speaker ne allowance, mafuta biki, simanyi medical biki, ebyo byonna birina okuva consolidation fund. Consolidation fund eringa account government gyekozesa okuteekako emisolo biki, taxes, bino bivudde wano, fines, so zonna sente zibeeraawo. So awo wetujjako nga tuwa allowance nga bwe twalaba ne mu Electoral Commission allowances ziva mu consolidation fund, ne mu Human Rights Commission allowances salaries zonna ziva mu consolidation fund. So that's why most of the time Matia Kasaija agamba money sente taziraba, because there is no money, people are not paying taxes, and these speakers and members of parliament and Electoral Commission and whatever organization, they need allowances. So those allowances are taken from the consolidation fund. The speaker and deputy speaker shall each, before assuming the duties of office, take and subscribe the oath of speaker or deputy speaker specified in the first schedule to this constitution. So tujja kutuuka mu fourth schedule nga bwe tulaba buli omu bwalina okusoyalinga. So wa speaker aba member of parliament bwe bakulonda ne babukuwa, just in case you're speaker, before you lead, you have to first take oath. Okay. Then Article 83 under Chapter 6, the legislature, is a tenure of office of a member of parliament. A member of parliament shall vacate his or her seat in parliament if he or she resigns his or her office in writing signed by him or her address to the speaker. Member of parliament bwavaayo n'agamba nze ndizaini, nze naresigninga n'asigninga n'agiwa speaker, then now tuba takyalina kyamukolera. If such circumstances arise that if that person were not a member of parliament would cause that person to be disqualified for election as a member of parliament under Article 80 of this constitution. Omuntu bw'abeera mu parliament ate nga teyali member of parliament, wano bagezaako tugamba in case ng'oresigninze nga tokyali member of parliament, ate you'll be disqualified even joining elections and whatever. So you shall not be allowed to do elections according to this Article 80 of this constituency. Subject to the provision of this constitution upon dissolution of parliament. This parliament wesalawo, nothing can terichosobola kyusa. If that person is absent from 15 sittings of parliament without permission in writing of the speaker during any period when parliament is continuously meeting and is unable to offer satisfactory explanation to the relevant parliamentary committee for his or her absence, 15 sittings. Olutulo olusooka, olwokubiri, olwokusatu, olwokuna, olwokutaano, olwokumi, 15 sittings nga toliiwo, gwe kaba kaweddemu. You are not a member of parliament anymore. And when you come, you can't give a clear explanation. See? Okay, if that person is found guilty by the appropriate tribunal of violation of the leadership code of conduct, the punishment imposed includes the vacation of the office of member of parliament. bakusanga nti gwe you are violating the code of conduct, oyina emisango gy'okoze blah blah, you know, you are no more a member of parliament. How can a member of parliament be involved in violating the code of conduct? So gwe obwa parliament nga tukola ki ng'obusiibula. Okay, if recalled by electorate in his or her constituency in accordance with the constitution. Recalled by electorate in his or her constituency. Akakiiko ko akakulonda we bakuddamu ne bakugjayo then nga bakugjayo ako sikategedde. If recalled by electorate in his or her constituency is in accordance with this constitution. Akakiiko ko akakulonda bwe kakwatagana ne constitution eno bayinza okujjayo ne bakusikayo bagamba leeta entebe eyo ojagireeta. Then what to do? If that person leaves the political party for which he or she stood as a candidate for election to parliament to join another party or to remain in parliament as an independent member. Wait 1 second. A member of parliament shall vacate his or her seat in parliament if that person leaves the political party for which he or she stood as a candidate for election to parliament to join another party or to remain in parliament as an independent. But bamemba abangi ebibiina babivaamu ne bajoininga ebirala, but they don't vacate his seat. So this is illegal. If a member of parliament shall vacate his or her seat in parliament if that person leaves a political party for which he or she stood as a candidate for election. Bubeera wa NRM n'ogenda mu NRM n'owangula akalulu kati bw'omala n'ogivaamu n'ojoininga NUP oba tolina bbeera kusigala ng'oli member of parliament. That is new to me. If having been elected to parliament as an independent candidate, that person joins a political party, if that person is appointed a public officer, or joining the nga independent atomazo or joining in another political party ateba ku appoint nga public office which fuba bagenda kujjako ekyaki kya member of parliament. Notwithstanding clause 1G and H of this article, membership of a coalition government of which his or her original political party forms part shall not affect the status of any member of parliament. The provisions of clause 1G and H and 2 of this article shall only apply during any period when multi-party system of government is in operation. Nga bwe twalabye government systems, multi-party, simanyi one-party system, simanyi no-party. Naye bino byonna bye twogeddeko bikola nga tuli mu system eno eya multi-party nga party nyingi. Tulina DP, tulina NRM, tulina NUP, tulina FDC, tulina NEED. So multi-party system. If multi-party system, that's what will be working. Okay. So now we are going on Article 84, right to recall. Right to recall. Okay. Subject to the provision of this article, the electorate of any constituency and of any interest group referred to in this Article 78 of this Constitution have the right to recall their member of parliament before the expiration of the term of parliament. Ogamba nedda ekifo kyange kyabwa parliament nkyakyagala kubanga nkyalinayo ebbanga. Let's see why. A member of parliament may be recalled from that office on any of the following grounds: physical or mental recall ne bakujjayo. physical or mental incapacity, rendering that member incapable of performing the functions of the office. Physical or mental incapacity. Bwakulaba nti tokyasobola oba tambula oba kukola ki bayinza okujjayo naye ssebo waliyo MP omu gwe tumanyi ono Ali simanyi muzeeyi Ali ono Sebo is always shaking but nobody is calling him. I think I'm like kyekiganye bannange ensi yaffe eragawo sajja takyasobola abalonzi I don't know why they keep voting him, Constitution says it says physical or mental incapacity, rendering that member incapable of performing the functions of the office. Takyasobola office. Musajja tasobola na kweyimiriza bulungi, bamuyimiriza, tasobola kwogera. I don't know how, what is left is I think he's only intelligence mind. I don't know. But still, he's still pushed for another term, more of another term. Then in Daily Monitor nalabye nga Kakwenza Rukirabasaiza yagambye Electoral Commission bweddamu neeyikiriza oyo omusajja neyeesimba agenda gikuba mu mbuga z'amateeka. Even here the Constitution supports it. Okay. Misconduct or misbehavior likely to bring hatred, ridicules, contempt or disruptive to the office. Oba teweeyisa bulungi oba weerako obukyayi simanyi naye bye bisinga mu palamenti yaffe babajjeyo. If I don't know who should record these people but they should be recalled. Persistent deserting of the electorate without reasonable use. Gwe bw'obeera buli kaseera osika muguwa bakugjeyo. Okay, we are on Article 84. So 3 of this article, the recall of a member of parliament shall be initiated by a petition in writing, setting out the groups relieved on a signed by at least 2/3 of the registered voters of the constituency or of the interest group referred to in clause 1 of this article and shall be delivered to the speaker. At least 2/3 of the registered voters. 2/3. Ebitundu bibiri ku bisatu, that is 2/3. 2/3 mu Luganda bakyogera bati. So ebitundu bibiri ku bisatu bwe bivaayo constitution y'abalonzi bwe bivaayo ne biwandiika ebbaluwa bonna ne basayininga ne bagamba kati Muhammad Ali ono tumugjeyo kubanga ayiika endusu takyasobola kwogera bla bla bla, ne basindika ki petition yaabwe wa sipiika wa parliament basobola omusikayo. Okay. On receipt of the petition referred to in clause 3 of this article, the speaker shall within 7 days require the electoral commission to conduct a public inquiry into the matters alleged in the petition of the electoral commission, shall expeditiously conduct the necessary inquiry and report its finding to the speaker. Within how many days? Within 7 days. Speaker jagenda we akakiiko k'ebyokulonda enaku 7 bagendemu banoonyereze what these people recalling the member of parliament kituufu oba member bamwogerako bituufu oba. So electoral commission bwegenda nenoonyereza nesanga nga ki abakola ki abalaba ekyokola. The speaker bagenda kola kirekisi. The speaker shall declare a seat vacant if the electoral commission reports that it's satisfied from the inquiry within the genuineness of the petition. Electoral commission akakiiko k'ebyokulonda bwekava negamba tunoonyereza kituufu ono omuntu abantu bakkiriza ne basayininga bla bla. So speaker ajja ku-announcing ekyo kifunga vacant n'agamba kati MP wa Kagadi taliiwo. Declare immediately that the petition was unjustified if the commission reports that it's not satisfied within the genuineness of the person. Basanga nga abantu babigeze babifeze bagenze ne banoonya amannya ne bagateeka mu buteesi nga tebakola ki omuntu nga tebasobola mujjayo. Okay. 6. Subject to the provision of clause 2, 3, 4 of this article, Parliament shall by law prescribe procedure to be followed for the recall of a member of Parliament. Okay, bwe biba nga bituufu Parliament ejja kugoberera procedures. Oyo MP baba bagenda mujjayo batya. Okay, so that was how MP can be called. Tukaize mba mwagala MP bamujjeyo mukunganye 2 of the thirds mugende muwandike petition mugiwandike speaker mumala kuwandikira speaker bwe mubuwera abangi nga musaba MP gwe bwalonda mu mujjeyo oba mulaba mutabufu wa mutwe oba mwina nga kyemwemulugunya kumuwandika petition ne mugitwala speaker n'agitunulamu within 7 days n'agamba electoral commission eddeyo enoonyereze bye mwogera bituufu oba bikyamu. Wasanga nga bituufu ekifo nga bakyanamusinga vacant nga bamugjayo. Wasanga nga mulimba abagamba nti mulimba ate they follow procedures as prescribed by the Parliament. Okay. Article 85. Emoluments of a member of Parliament. Emoluments. So emoluments kitegeeza nti fee oba salary oba profit. Emoluments of a member of Parliament. A member of Parliament shall be paid such emoluments and such gratitude and shall be provided with such facilities as may be determined by Parliament. Parliament yo yeno salawo nti member of Parliament tujja musasula mutya, tujja muwa allowances enganazita, tujja mukola batya so as described the Parliament, that's how he will be paid. A member of Parliament shall not hold any office of profit or emolument likely to compromise his or our office. Toyina funa office ngekuwa magoba simanyi mbu magoba simanyi nti bakusasula ebintu birala. No, should work for only Parliament and for Parliament. Okay. Determination, Article 86. Determination of questions of a membership. The High Court shall have jurisdictions to hear and determine any question whether a person has been validly elected a member of Parliament or the seat of a member of Parliament has become vacant. The High Court ejja kuwulira nti omuntu oyo bamulonze bya ddala oba kyo just ekifo bakimubwadde buwi. So yo nga High Court erina member of Parliament has become vacant, or a person has been validly elected as Speaker or Deputy and having been so elected has vacated that office. Having been so elected has vacated that office. So bwekibaawo nga abantu bakuliko olinze nga baagala kujjayo, High Court yalina onoonyereza wavuddeyo batewavuddeyo ebibyo bibeera bibi. Okay, 2 of Article 86. A person aggrieved by the determination of the High Court under this article may appeal to Court of Appeal. Bwe bakujjayo n'olaba nti everyone is not fair, ogenda mu Court of Appeal no appealinga. Okay, 3. Parliament shall by law make provision with respect to that person eligible to apply to the High Court for determination. Parliament shall by law make provisions. Parliament ejja kuteerawo obukwakkulizo. Are you really eligible to apply for High Court? Ogenda mu High Court kikusaanidde oba? Any of the question under this article, and B, the circumstances and the manner in which and the conduction upon which any such application may be made. Mbeera ki gy'ogenda ku High Court? Ogenda ku High Court ebyaddala oba just kituufu toliimu baakututte? Ebyo birina otuukawo ku ba MP baffe abamu. Okay, 86, Article 86, Clerk to Parliament and other staff. There shall be a public officer designated Clerk to Parliament appointed by the President in the consultation with the Public Service Commission and such other member of staff as may be necessary for the efficient discharge of the functions of Parliament. Kiraka wa Parliament alina okulondebwa ani President w'eggwanga n'akakiiko kaaki ka Public Service Commission bwe balina onoonya kiraka wa Parliament n'obufu obulala. So Parliament naye erimu obulimu obulala. Kitegeera not only MPs and so deputy and what and ministers and vice president. Okay, all right. So procedure of Parliament, quorum of Parliament. So procedure of Parliament, awe tugenda otandikira. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying with me, but please like, share, subscribe. Let's hit at least 50 subscribers for now. 50, 100, 150, 200, you know. But for now, let's hit 50. We are still low. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming with me. And watch the videos till the end, okay? Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Have a great night. Have a good day. Bye.